my name's Jennifer, and I'll be showing you how to make this delicious creamy kale salad served either warm or cold. It's very simple to make, healthy, nutritious. It's gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free. So here are our ingredients. So we're going to start with our kale. So now you can choose a few different types of kale. Any kale will do. You can use Swiss chard, but kale packs a little bit more of a healthy punch. So here I have some dinosaur kale. This you can use all the way up to the stems, and then we have some curly kale here as well. This you actually have to remove the stems because it's a little bit tough, so I'll be showing you how to do that later. We have some tahini umi plum vinegar, which is our secret ingredient, which gives it that nice special flavor. We have an onion, fresh garlic, and our walnuts that we'll be toasting. So we'll add a nice warm, rich, crunchy flavor to it. Going to throw that into our pot of boiling water, and it just takes a few minutes for it to cook. You don't have to cook it till it's falling apart, but you want it to, be cooked through so it's easy to digest, but still have some nice green color to it. So that's the dinosaur kale. This is the curly kale. So you see the leaves are a bit bigger, but it's a little bit more work because you do have to take off the stem. I just like to fold all the leaves over, and I just draw my knife along the inside edge of that spine, and you take out the stem. Do that again. Just a quick, easy draw down. So again, you just fold these leaves over and cut at the stem. And then you're going to take all of these together and just give them a rough chop. And then we'll give them a quick cook and get ready to make our salad. I'm going to take out the rest of the kale that's been cooking in our pot. So notice how it stays a nice bright color. Kale is a very hearty vegetable. And the reason we cook it is so that we can actually digest it, because it is so fibrous that it can be difficult for the body to digest and really absorb all of those wonderful nutrients that are in it, if we don't cook it. So that's why we want to always somehow cook our kale. Even if we're putting kale into a smoothie, you should steam it first so that it helps break down the structure of the kale so our body can really get all of the benefits. Now I've cooked my kale in this hot water, so this water has a ton of nutrients in it right now. So I'm going to save this for when I make a soup or a stock, and I'm going to put that in there. It just helps give everything an added little boost of vitamins and all that green goodness. So next we're going to slice our onion. I like to have a bowl handy so I can put my scraps in there easily. So it's just going to be a really quick, easy chop. You're just going to slice it. Because you want the bits of onions to be able to mingle with the kale in your dish. You don't want them too small or else they kind of get lost. And we're going to just mince our garlic. smash, and that helps you take the outer skin off. Just peel those babies there. See how easy that is? And so do you hear that? That's my cutting board making some noise. So what I'm going to do to help balance it, see it's just being a bit wobbly. Move that over there. And just take a cloth, and if you like, so it doesn't fly around, you can have a damp cloth. That helps her suction it to the table. So see, it doesn't make that noise anymore. Problem fixed. There's always a simple solution to most problems. So now that our kale is steamed, we're going to go ahead and saute our sliced onions and our minced garlic. So here I have a saute pan, and in it I have about 2 tablespoons of toasted sesame oil. Now the sesame oil lends great flavor to the walnuts that we will be toasting after. But feel free to use olive oil or anything else you like. I do like sesame oil for another reason. It's really easy for your body to digest. So that's one great reason for some sesame oil there. So we're going to get started. I'm going to turn it up to high to start, just to get everything going. And I'm going to add my onions and my minced garlic. While these are sauteing, I can also toast my walnuts. Now, on this side of the oven, on the stove, I've got my cast iron pan. I'm going to turn this one up, the right burner. I'm going to get it hot, so I'm going to turn it to high just to start. So I've got my walnuts here. They are whole walnuts or half walnuts. We're going to toast them first, and then I'm going to chop them up. Stuff those in there. And you really want to keep an eye on them, because once the cast iron pan gets hot, they're going to burn quite quickly if you don't keep them moving. So with the walnuts, you want to have some nice toasted brown color on them, but you don't want them to get burnt. So you want to keep them moving, especially when the pan gets hot. And then once you turn the heat off, this cast iron pan is going to have absorbed a lot of heat. So you want to keep them moving or take them out of the pan, because if you let them rest, they will start to burn. So I'm going to put them right onto our cutting board to cool, because I am going to chop them up. And our onions are coming along very nicely. Just a little bit longer to get them nice and tender and translucent. So they're still warm, these, but I'll start chopping them up. Get our bowl, put them back on. So they don't have to be into tiny bits, just a rough chop just to break them up. And they smell divine. There we go. Yum. These are going to be wonderful. So our last two ingredients, this is a very simple recipe. Our last two ingredients are our tahini, or our sesame butter, so ground sesame. These ones are toasted, so they have a nice warm flavor. And this is umi plum vinegar. It's a Japanese style vinegar, which is maybe more closely related to a brine, but you can find it in most health food stores. It's very good for your system. It helps alkalinize your blood, which is a healthy thing because most foods cause our blood to become very acidic. So this will help alkalinize it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take our bowl of steamed kale, which is still warm, and I'm just going to drain the last little bits of water out there because you don't want this to become too soupy. I'll turn off the onions. Then I'll just go ahead and dump them right into the bowl with our kale. Now I'm going to use the help of this hot pan to mix the tahini and the umi plum vinegar. So you notice I haven't put any salt into this dish, and that's because the umi plum vinegar is quite salty. So that's going to be where all of our seasoning comes from. So that's all blended. We'll scrape the pan and add that into our mix. Along with our walnuts. So here's the bowl with all of our ingredients in there. And we'll just start to toss it up. It's a great side dish. I get this requested at family gatherings all the time. There we go. Can't resist. Delicious, and those walnuts have a great nutty flavor. So there we have it. To enjoy these recipes and more, please visit my website at jelambleconcepts.com. You'll find a nice variety of healthy, happy, heart-friendly recipes to enjoy for you and your family. Thanks so much. See you next time.